Hey everyone, Brian from Bear Bull Traders, Sunday, December 15th, and we're halfway through the last month of the year and had a lot of news feed over the last week. The phase one deal of the US-China trade talks seemed to get wrapped up and things seemed to go well there, and also we had some resolution, or at least, some resolution regarding the Brexit situation. Conservatives won a pretty solid majority, so no more debate. Seems like that's going to move forward. Um, so, so we'll see what's going to happen next week. We're getting into the latter part of the year. We've got some earnings coming up this week, notably Micron, not Microsoft, Micron. We've got FedEx and Carnival Cruise Lines, and so we've got a few interesting earnings coming up this week. But let's take a look at what Friday did. Friday was kind of an interesting day. We had a big day Thursday, obviously, and then basically for the Dow, it was almost a nothing day on Friday. All the news was kind of out and everything was baked. NASDAQ finished up a little bit. SPY, sort of the same story, like a bit up, but really nothing to write home about on Friday anyway. So you can see new highs, lots more new highs and new lows, lots more stocks above the 50, lots more stocks above the 200. So seem to getting back into the bull camp and the internals of the market here. Let's take a look at groups that did well over the week. We had basic materials, technology, financials. So interest rates dropping a bit, financials did well, technology, risk on trade, basic materials. Yes, a lot of the things like Freeport-McMoRan, a lot of the metals seem to be warming up a little bit, like FCX, Freeport has been strong. Over the month, healthcare has still been strong, and I'll be interested to see if there's another. We seem to be having these merger Mondays or bio Mondays. Every Monday we seem to hear about a new small biotech getting bought out. So we'll see if that's going to play out again this coming Monday. Biotechs have been definitely strong. So let's take a look at transports. Start out with that. You can see here if we drew let's just do that quickly. I don't want to make this too long video. You can see here we're still struggling with this breakout line. We tried to rally on Friday and ended up pulling back right to this line here. FedEx will give us an interesting read into what's going on in the transport sector and the freight movement that we'll get later this week with their earnings and outlook on that. That's also a pretty good gauge for global economies. 10-year, again, financials dropped a little bit here on Friday, or the interest rates dropped a little bit on Friday. Let's take a look at the weeklies. Weekly just basically seemingly narrowing into a trading range here. RSI right in the middle. So, we may just be stuck in this 1.8, 1.75 range for quite some time here. It'll be interesting if we can actually pick a direction. Like I said, we're kind of stuck in this band right here. The Dow again was kind of an indecision day on Friday. As I already pointed out, although it did appear to finish higher on the week, but well off the high. The Russell was not very strong on Friday. You can see here we had a sort of an inside day on Friday. It was the one index that didn't do very well. And again, we just seems to be really having trouble making some big moves, some real big breakout moves. Of course, we just seem to we rejected this level right here. So it'll be interesting to see if we can make any headway next week, but it does seem a little bit tired on the on this index. The small caps volume was up a little bit. The Qs continued to push higher, although well off the high Friday, but pretty close, pretty decent day, and so that probably will continue. The trend will continue. We're getting up into an overbought, slightly overbought situation. Volume, nothing great, and I wouldn't expect volume to pick up at all as we get into the latter part of this month. Volume will probably be dropping off a little bit. S&P, again, not a great Thursday, not a great Friday. Of course, that's, sometimes you have those days where you have a big day and then a consolidation day. But on the week, we're up again, pressing to new highs. RSI continues to push higher. Volume, not too bad. The dollar looks like it's on the verge of breaking down here, which of course will bode well for metals like commodities and gold. Of course, the euro was, or not, the pound was definitely strong on the results of the vote, and some clear direction as to where things are going to go. VIX got really taken to the woodshed over the entire week. Here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all down days, right back down to sort of this 12 level. We're going to probably head back down to that 12 level. Let's take a look at see what we have. Actually, let's start out with the actives quickly. Just go through those. Apache, been holding this one, took some off 21, took some off here at 22. We hit this 50 moving average and definitely had a big rejection from that on Friday. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. I've kind of moved my stop up. Got in down here on 20 and change. 21, 22 were exits I took. Still holding a little bit. I was just hoping we'd get a continuation move higher. We did fill this gap on this push, and kind of expand. Of course, again hit the 50. So not surprising we pulled back here. So we'll just kind of hang on to it and see if we can get a bit of a consolidation and then a resumption in trend back up into this. I'd say into the 24 level would be where I'd be looking to take some more. MO I'm just still holding on to. Seems to be hanging around that level. OPGN was the one that we took 118, I think. I took an entry at 118. It was kind of looking like it was going to do a cup and handle or double bottom, and we were going to get a nice little push higher back up into this one sort of 60-70 range. So it did another little pullback here, still holding on to it, and just hoping it's going to get back up into this this range here. Now let's take a look at what's on some of the stocks I'm watching. I'm looking at ACAD, pharmaceutical company. It's had a nice run, nice pop up, a hollow fill candle and a pullback, and maybe a decent entry right here. It seems to be holding this moving average. I'm going to keep an eye on that on Monday. $44 looks like it might be. There was the low there on that on Friday, $44. So we get a decent entry, and if it can hold above 44, might be a good play there. AMRN's tried once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now we're doing a shallower pullback here, and I'd be watching this on Monday for a breakout. We've tested this level numerous times, so if we can actually get through what's this 44.67, 44.70, it will definitely probably break. It should break higher. Volume's building a little bit here, so something to keep an eye on Monday morning. Clovis did a nice pullback here. It just seems, I suspect it's going to get stuck in this range here. This is about back to this level here. Seems to be where we're stuck. Tried to get above this 200, and it just looks like it's kind of hanging around there now. KRMD was one I was looking at. Came up on a scan. Had a nice pop up here. Now we've done a little bit of a pullback. This is a lower price stock. Um, Low for, roughly 550. Went out the day around 578. So I think I'll be keeping an eye on this one. I think if we use 550 as a stop, um, we'll see if it can push higher. Let's see if we've got any levels further back to look at. No, it's pretty much breaking out here. This is the weekly. RSI is pretty overbought. We had a big volume day, or big volume week, I should say. Let's take a look at what else we got here. LK I was kind of looking at, like in coffee. It's seems to be trading into a bit of an ascending or a pennant, and I'll just keep an eye on that to see if it breaks out. Another stock I'm looking at, or ETF I'm looking at here, is MJ, which is the 420 ETF, and you can kind of see here definitely had a long-term sort of downtrend, and it looks like we're starting to break out of this this trend line here. So maybe the pot stocks will start to make a bit of a run back here. So if we look at this level here, low 1676, low on this was 17. So we did a bit of a pullback on Friday. But if we use, I would say, this moving average, this 20-period moving average, and sort of 17, maybe 1690 as a stop, we'll see what it does on Monday. If we can get, looks like it's trying to put in a reversal pattern. So one of two things is going to happen. One of three things. I mean, it's gonna break down again, but it does look like it's starting to hold this level here. It's either that, or it's either gonna start to break higher, or we're gonna churn sideways. So I am going to be keeping an eye on that one. Nugget, I'm thinking it'll look, with a weak dollar, it could break out here. It's got to get through and hold 30. It's tried numerous times to get through 30, failed towards the end of the day. So if we can hold above 30 for at the end of the day, it actually might look like it could be in play. Nugget could be, the gold trade could be back in play here. Roku really started to roll over here, lost this moving average on Friday. Even on Thursday when the market was up, this Roku rolled over. So it looks like it's struggling here. We could be looking at a 120 handle on this one. A little reluctant to short stocks in this market because everything seems to be going up, or at least a lot of things seem to be going up. So I don't like to really short stocks in a strong market. But if you were inclined, this breakdown from 140. SMH, so semiconductors have really been doing well. MU, of course, Micron reporting later this week. See what happens there. TNA looked like it tried to break out. It's pulling back here right to this breakout level. And again, small caps didn't do well on Friday. You can see that reflected in the in this ETF, which is the small cap ETF. And we'll see if we're going to hold here at this 67 level, 67.80 level. If we don't, maybe we're going to break down and head back to this moving average, in which case TZA would be in play. Natural gas struggling down here. Looks like it's forming a bit of a wedge, but waiting for something to happen there. Oil actually, even though some of the energy stocks didn't do well, but oil actually was up on the Friday, which was kind of strange. Let's take a look at the next stock, which is XLE. Usually you would expect this, with oil strengthening, you'd expect this to go higher. So I'm watching this to see if we can break above this level in this moving average. It seemed to come up to this 200-day moving average and break down. So up on Friday on volume, down on less volume. So maybe we may continue higher here. And XLNX looks like it's wanting to hold this 90 level. It's a more expensive stock at 90 bucks. That's the weekly. Let's take a look at it, what it looks like on a daily. Again, we had a nice breakout here, back up into this area of congestion and some prior levels of resistance. So if it can maybe break through 98.50, 98-ish, yeah, so it's right into this area of resistance here. So maybe we can, if we can break through here, would definitely be should be good back up to at maybe 102 here, 103, somewhere in this range, filling this gap. All right, well, lots to watch on the coming week, and we'll see how things play out. Right now, futures are pretty much flat, but we'll see if we get some, again, some talk of another buyout or merger on Monday, in the specifically again in the biotech space, which seems to be hot now for this. So, all right, everybody. Well, that's the wrap. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. We'll see you all in the Bear Bull Trading Room if you're going to join us there in the morning. Remember, the pre-market show starts at 9 o'clock, live on YouTube. And yeah, so we'll possibly see you there. This is my book, How to Swing Trade, on Amazon. If you haven't checked it out, there it is. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone, and we'll possibly see you in the morning. Bye for now.